It's here. Pocket Health A to Z. Pocket Health A to Z is a handy little nutritional guide. When it comes to vitamins and minerals, Pocket Health makes it easy and simple for you by giving you the food sources and the nutritional benefits of those vitamins and minerals that we need for good health. Plus, Pocket Health provides added information that you will find beneficial. Don't wait. Pick up a copy of Pocket Health A to Z today and choose to feel your best.
Peace, family. We are live again this Friday. No, what's today? Wednesday. It's hump day. This Wednesday evening. Everyone, thank you so much for joining. Well, Wednesday night. It's 9 o'clock here in Atlanta. It's almost my bedtime. I am an early riser, so, I like to get in bed, wind down, about 9:30, 10 o'clock, get in bed, read, email, all that good stuff. So, but everyone, thank you so much for joining. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Again, make sure you like, share, subscribe. If you're watching this, that is your price for admission. Price of admission. Price of admission. There we go, something like that. So hit the like button. Make sure you share. Make sure you subscribe. Invite all your homies, your friends, your sisters, your cousin, your family, all of them. All of them. Invite all of them to come and enjoy and participate and watch this important conversation we're about to have in regards to these coups that are taking place in Africa, specifically Francophone Africa. There was one this morning, Gabon. Folks are tired. It's really the youth. It's really the youth. They are tired of the BS. They are tired of these puppet leaders who are serving their own best interests and not the best interests of the citizens of the respective countries. We had Guinea, of course, Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger, now Gabon that have went down. And in fact, let me play this video real quick. Hold on, let me play this video real quick. Let me see if I could actually find it on. Hold on, here it goes. The video was I just had the video up. I swear somebody just sent this to me. Oh, man. What I'll do, I'll find it. And here we go. Here goes the video right here. Hold on. There has to be a way where there has to be a way. Oh, man, there has to be a way where I could play like the full size version of this video. But I can't. Oh, come on, Dinus. Come on. We got to find a way to play this. But while I figure that out, we got a couple of announcements. Announcement number one, Benin Republic. Benin Republic. We are rolling to Benin Republic January 3rd through the 12th for the Voodoo Festival. Again, January 3rd through the 12th for the Voodoo Festival. Come and join us in Benin for the Voodoo Festival, January 3rd through the 12th. Go to donfo.africa. Click on Betravel and click on Benin. And listen, that's where we are rolling for the Voodoo Festival. So please, if you want to roll to Benin with us, please visit Donfo, DANFO.Africa. And if you have not bought the documentary, listen, there's 30 of you guys watching this right now. There's 30 of you guys watching this right now. If you have not bought the documentary In Search of Uhuru, again, if you have not bought the documentary In Search of Uhuru, please go to searchforuhuru.com. Go to searchforuhuru.com and buy the documentary. Please go and support the documentary. If you have not bought the documentary yet, please go to searchforuhuru.com and buy the documentary. We will greatly appreciate it. Now, let's jump into today's topic. Let me play this news clip real quick. For people who don't know what's going on, there was just a coup this morning in Gabon. And listen, these francophone countries, listen, the citizens are saying they're tired of the puppetry, if that's even the correct term. They are tired of the puppetry. They're tired of France, controlling these leaders and serving the best interests of France and the West instead of the people of the country. They're fed up. And that's what we're going to get into today. Let's play this news clip.
Totalité des commandants en chef. Le général Oligui Nguema Brice a été désigné à l'unanimité président du comité pour la transition et la restauration des institutions. Président de la transition. Régime en place. À cet effet, les élections générales du 26 août 2023 ainsi que les résultats tronqués sont annulés.
I'm Ali Bongo Ondimba, President of Gabon, and I'm to send a message to all the friends that we have all over the world to tell them to make noise, For the people here have arrested me and my family.
Les élections générales du 26 août 2023 ainsi que les résultats tronqués sont annulés. Les frontières sont fermées jusqu'à nouvel ordre. Toutes les institutions de la République sont dissoutes.
El artista latinoamericano más aclamado de la historia. Luis Miguel Tour 2024.
Tanto tiempo disfrutamos.
El Sol de México. Luis Miguel 2024.
All right, my bad. Owini should be joining us here and oh no. It's not. Hold on, Owini, where are you at? I wonder if Winnie's still in Ghana. Yeah, Winnie, we're 4 hours ahead or behind. Yeah, so Winnie's going to join us in about 10 minutes. This is what I'm going to put the link in the chat room. If you guys want to add to the conversation and hop on, you guys can. I see you guys are kind of quiet. So link is in the chat room. If you want to add to the convo, you are more than welcome to add to the conversation and join us. And please click on the link. Again, please click on the link so you can participate in the conversation as we wait for Owini. Owini should be here in 10 minutes. But what are your guys' thoughts? Gabon, Niger, about a month ago, I think it was. So now Tinubu, well, not necessarily Tinubu, but you have African leaders who are what are trying to decide how they're going to engage and approach this. I don't know if this would be considered a junta as well. Shout out to Mimi Roberts in the chat room. So that's the question. Like, what's African? Because African Union was threatening Niger. So is the African Union going to now threaten Gabon? Gabon is not an ECOWAS country, so what is ECOWAS going to do? Because I know Tinubu said that he's staying on top of the situation. Tinubu is the president of Nigeria, of Niger. He's the president. So I wonder how the African Union is going to respond to this latest coup. And then the next question is, which country is next? Somebody said Cameroon is next. I said the same thing. But this is the problem with that. This is the problem with it being Cameroon. You guys pretty much already have a coup in Haiti. The gangs run Haiti. So there already has been pretty much a coup in Haiti, but this is the issue with Cameroon. Another friend of mine was saying Senegal. But what you need in order to have a coup, you need to have the military, a military that's fed up and a military that's on the same page, where everyone is on the same page to the point where it's like, listen, we are taking over. We're arresting the president and we're removing him. Trying to get you got to think about it. When you're organizing a coup, okay? And because there's a thin line where there's like a point where a coup could turn into a civil war. Because if your military, if they're not all on the same page, and if you have people who are still loyal to current leadership, that could turn into a civil war. So countries like Cameroon, I know Cameroon's already somewhat, there's a lot of infighting going on between the English and the Francophone Cameroon. You got Cote d'Ivoire and you got Senegal. But again, are there I would say the opposition? Do they have enough support, or where from the military, where the military is willing to storm the presidential office and say, listen, you're done? And I don't think Senegal, I don't think Cameroon, I don't think Cote d'Ivoire is there yet. But the thing is, you never know. Like, who would have thought that there would have been a coup in Gabon? And that's the thing. That's kind of like the funny part. You never really know, because people don't telegraph their punches. You don't know what the conversations that are taking place right now in Cameroon, Senegal, or Cote d'Ivoire. Like, you don't understand. Like, we don't know the conversations that are taking place. There's no one. You can't really predict these coups. Like, nobody knew that a coup was going to take place in Gabon this morning. Wisdom never sleeps. What's going on?
How you doing, nephew? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm always great. Well, when I did my African ancestry, it says on my father's side, 100% from Gabon.
Right.
So, yeah. So, and I had not long ago watched a video that was showing the guy from France there, and some of those people seemed like he was God come out the sky. Want to touch him, want to do this, no matter how impoverished they were. But it shows this president who's been there for so long, it's a money grab for most of these leaders. They don't care about the people as much.
Right.
And that's why he's talking about him and his family. Yeah. So what happens, they did what they're supposed to do the right way. They don't telegraph. They don't say something out loud all the time. They went very underground. They talked to each other. Unlike the Black Americans here, they got to put everything out on the internet and everything, and so they already know what's going on, you know. So they
Right.
already got a plan against you when you start talking. But the fact is that when you have so many people that's 35 and under, with 70% greater in the whole of Africa, this is bound to happen eventually, especially when your military leaders are still also in that age bracket. So, in order to take control of something that's been around so long, you're right. You got to have uh, everybody on board in your military and other ranks that you don't have a divide for a civil war. And that's what they did. And so, actually, we that's the thing, that if you don't want to say you from Africa or African, then you're missing out on who your reality is of warriors. And this is also why they keep out a lot of the LGBTQ situations, so they have warriors still going.
Right.
You know, your warriors above everything else. And so, how can I say this? I applaud this actually, because it's time. And if that's the only, because remember, uh, even a lot of your people will say, even Malcolm X, if you want freedom, it's got to be taken. It can't be bargained for. Can't be. You have to actually physically take your freedom. And so, being the way they are, and then I think what is happening, what you see is most of these people don't want to go into this global world society to be ruled by anybody else that they've already been supposed to be independent from.
Right.
And as long as the puppet leaders, they're leading Africa into this whole global rule by one umbrella of people. And that's what they're saying. They don't want to do that. And these countries, especially with France, bleeding them dry, charging them for their freedom since they've been free, all this stuff. And it takes enough courage and the right people. And what he mentioned in there is these elections that were stolen. That happens a lot. Now, what I do like is the fact that even Nigeria, when they brought in this ex-president that everybody's supposed to revere, when Niger did it, and the legislature there shut him down, said, no, we're not going to war.
Right.
And a lot of this country said, no, we're not doing that. These are our brothers and sisters. We need to talk to them.
Right.
So they brought more puppets back to try to get, why would you want to call a greater war in Africa on Africans that you're doing the bidding of people that's not even from Africa? That's crazy, because you want to keep your money going.
Right.
That's even with Paul Kagame. He does a great job over there, but his family, most of them are living here in America on millions of dollars of salary that's not being taken back there that can help more people as well. A lot of people don't know that. He's got a son and daughter here that's spending millions of dollars, living well in the U.S. So even though they say certain things, they don't want to be pushed a certain way, but at the same time, they also live off the people more than really spread it out to the people. And that's where infrastructure and all that stuff could be done more so, not in just one city or one place, but all over the country itself. So I see soon the borders coming down very soon as well. As the more coups happen, borders will also come down. Remember, they just said that all the government, all this stuff, all those institutions are dissolved immediately. So they're going to rebuild from where they were, because that's what his statement was, that they dissolved all those institutions under that government. Not just took them out, but all the institutions. He said these are right now dissolved. All the election, all the people that come in under the Rob election, dissolved.
Right.
Done. So they're starting from scratch. And if you notice, these guys are in their 30s.
Right.
And they're not them old guards. They're in their 30s, and they're showing their bravery, and they got them the backing. And they needed the majority of the military and all the underground swell to make this happen. And they did it very quietly, which was their strength, actually, keeping it a secret. So a white man can't tell old man over there 55 years, hey, this is going to happen, go cut some necks off or something. Go jail them, go, do a Trump on them, indict them, and throw them in jail.
Right.
Because, that's the playbook. Let's get rid of the opposition. But it's more to happen. It's more to happen.
You think so?
Oh yeah. It's more to happen. Because France, as they leave, they want to tear up stuff again for the second time, smashing trucks, doing all kind of stuff.
I saw that.
Yeah. So you still not. You got other countries that if you do this to a few and you think they're not watching you, the coup is bound to happen with the rest of the Francophone countries and then the rest of Africa. They will stop electing these same old people because they know they're stealing it. They're not electing them, most of them. So you're festering a coup every time you go against the opposition that the majority of people want, and all of a sudden you still in there again. You creating this for everything.
Let me read, not acknowledge a couple of these super chats. Mimi Roberts, thank you for the $10 holla. America's First Rifleman, thank you for the $5 holla. Hey, America's First Rifleman, call in. Since you're an ex-military, maybe you could kind of, I don't know, break down the anatomy of a coup, like how that actually works. Shout out to Sim Police Academy in the chat room as well. But yeah, if you want to call in, America's First Rifleman, link is in the chat room, and maybe you could give us an idea of, how a coup was started, and well, really not really how it started, but how people keep it under wraps. How they go about it as far as finding out like who's down and who's not without, giving up with somebody not ratting on them. All right, what's up, Mary? Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Just sitting at work, listening to some on work knowledge. Unfortunately, well, shout out to Wisdom Never Sleep. Shout out to you, Dinus. I don't know as much about Gabon. See, I can't even say the damn country's name right as much as other people, and I'll just be quick. Anatomy of a coup is very simple. You have to have the support of the people, a very sizable amount of the people. You have to make sure that the military, by and large, the officer corps is behind you, especially the higher ups, and then some of the middle manager, like lieutenant colonels, people like that. And then the third thing is you have to have the levers to civil society. When I say civil society, like the embassies, banking systems, other parts of infrastructure, electricity, you have to make sure you have those folks behind you, or at least a way to control those in order to take over the levers of the state. Very rarely can you take over the state in a clean fashion without having all three at your disposal, or being able to take those over. That's how you have a lot of other factions pop up, and they'll maybe, like I would say Sudan or South Sudan is maybe one example where two factions formed and they're fighting for primacy. So that's pretty much all I could say about kind of the anatomy of coup. I give you kind of the cliff notes, but I'm sitting and watching what's going on. I would say just surface level from I support Niger, I support Burkina Faso, and all these other countries thrown off the yoke of the francophone, I would say consensus. I support all these people trying to get a fresh start and take care of their own affairs, and I think it's finally time for West Africa to do that. It's on Africans to fail on their own if they have to fail, but it doesn't have to be any white man or global institution behind what they're doing. So I applaud what they're doing, and I wish them the best of luck.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
I agree with that about fail on your own. That's the thing that seems to be pushing back here so much, is that people think the victim mentality is what's going to always keep them getting things. And the fact to say, you know what, a lot of the stuff that happens to us continuously is based on how we do for ourselves or not do. How we continuously, what people don't understand, our people, most of them are voting for their own demise, and it's right in front of their face, and they could care less. It's about feelings and who we like or don't like that makes that happen. And the decision got to be based on you, yours, not just your household, but your people, because If your household just ain't right all the way, and your people is wrong, it's gonna get back to your household, no matter how you try to cloak and dagger for the enemy and how to try to dress it up and all that. It's gonna come back to your household. Your little 5% or 2% will never be left out when something really happens, because the law they make, the rules they make, affect us as a whole people, not the percentage of people. And so, like you were saying, though, you have to get certain entities in line, because another faction can raise up in this war, because there's certain things you do have to control or have people in place to take that control when ready. So yeah, I agree with that. But they also said, this is gonna be us, live or die with it. We're gonna fight for what we need to be and do.
And one other thing I'll say too, I I don't know much about the leader that's taken the forefront. It's just really happened within the last couple of days. So I'm really do you because I came in on the live stream maybe about a few minutes after you guys started. Do you know anything about the leader of the military junta?
Not really. I'm waiting for the main guest to call. He should be coming on any second now, and I know he knows more about it.
I gotta kind of get back to work. I can't be too on this too much, but I will definitely be listening. Thank you for letting me come on Dynus and talk a little bit. And yeah, I'm gonna just keep listening, and thank you. Keep bringing this Pan-African information, and keep doing what you're doing, brother. You're making this global African family bigger. So shout out to you, Dynus.
For sure. Peace. All right, guys, we're still waiting on a weenie. He should be coming on shortly. But guys, I'll put the link in the chat room. If you guys want to call in and have the conversation, you're more than welcome to.
And please, everybody, go get the documentary. I really, even though I had it a while, I finally sit down this weekend and past weekend and watched it. So I really, really thoroughly enjoyed it. Learned some things I did not know. So great job.
Hey, I appreciate it. Thank you. That means a lot, and I just want to acknowledge you on this platform for all the support you've given me over the years. It really means a lot.
Well, hopefully I'll be coming up on my first trip soon with you.
Hey, we'll love to have you. We'll definitely love to have you guys. Go to searchforahuru.com. Go to searchforahuru.com. Click on the link on the top of the screen. It's going to forward you to the documentary page. And please support and watch the documentary. It is live streamed via the site. Again, please go to searchforwho.com. There's 112 of you guys in the chat right now. If you have not purchased the documentary yet, go and support and spend the $10.99 and buy the documentary. Go to searchforwho.com and buy the documentary. I greatly appreciate it. It really means a lot. Cassius Zulu, you got to call back in. Guys, again, links in the chat room. If you want to call in, please click on the link again. If you want to call in, here's Cassius Zulu. Cassius Zulu, go ahead.
Hey, what's up? How you doing, Dynus?
Man, I'm good, brother. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. This whole Gabon situation. I don't know if you remember me mentioning on your panel that Gabon has a city that's kind of similar to Freetown, Sierra Leone, but it's called Libreville. So the capital of the country, I think it was like former enslaved Africans of the French from various parts of their colonies, like Haiti and places like that. They resettled.
Cassius, you went out.
All right, hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but basically the city was founded by former enslaved Africans.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a little rebellious nature to this whole coup, like a revolutionary nature to it. Like I'm watching I'm watching different news coverage channels on it, and they're saying some of the military people have red, green, and black on. I mean, in that order, it's really, it's really red, black, and green. But for them to say they have those colors, that speaks volume.
Yeah, yeah. So it's the French version of Freetown.
Yeah, Libreville, I believe. Libreville.
Mm-hmm.
Now Gabon it's like it's known as the last Eden of Africa. So if you look at a lot of the flora and fauna, particularly the fauna, they got like hippos that are on the beach. You used to seeing hippos in rivers and like little ponds, but you got hippos that's surfing in the ocean, So it's got really unique wildlife as well. It's a lot of trees. I think 80% of the country's covered in rainforest. It's been a lot of illegal mining and logging there, poaching of the animals. There's a lot of forest elephants, gorillas. It's a real, real gorgeous country.
Alfred Buddy, go ahead.
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Loud and clear. Loud and clear.
I was just I don't know. I like puzzles, so I was trying to figure out why all the francophone countries was going down. So I was just on this chat trying to see, is it a reason why it's just francophone, or is it
Well, we know I think the francophone countries. So in fact, I wonder if I have one here. I don't. So, like for example, with these francophone countries, their money they use the CFA, the Central African franc, and so their money is printed in France, and it's shipped to them. And I forgot how it works. Like every transaction, the French gets a certain amount. So they're still like not formally colonized, but they're still somewhat under the rule of thumb of France, and they're in the best interest of France, these francophone countries. And so the youth are just tired of it in these francophone countries. So that's why a lot of them are starting to fall like dominoes.
yeah, but the alternative, what's the alternative? Is it going to be a
Listen, go control your own destiny, link up with other African countries.
That's interesting. I was just thinking, I don't know if everybody believes that Nigeria should have been part of BRICS, or if it feels like I feel like there's a dispute in Africa. If it's why is South Africa the only country that got chosen with BRICS? That's what I'm thinking. But that's just me thinking out the box. No,
I think Egypt got invited to BRICS, right? Am I right? I think there's another.
They're asking to join. There are several countries that they just finally reached out and they have to finalize it.
Yeah, in fact, last week's announcement that BRICS grouping will expand, adding Argentina, Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and Emirates. So yeah, Ethiopia and Egypt are going to join it.
Oh, dang. I mean,
are supposed to join it.
Yeah. How do you feel about these leaders though in Africa? They're bad for the people just because they're old, or?
I mean, as long as they're operating in the best interest of the people, that's how it's supposed to go. But me, I'm a firm believer that the individual controls his own destiny.
Okay.
Leadership's gonna be leadership, and they have their own self-interest.
Yeah.
That necessarily might not be in line with the people, but for the most part, you got to get up and get it on your own.
Yeah, there's one that I did a little research earlier today. There's one African country doing better than China in GDP per capita. It's like Swaziland or something like that. It's only a little population. I don't know, man. I think we're doing all right. We just got to put it together, figure out the success formula.
I agree. Yeah. Winnie Baba, where you at, brother? Guys, we'll stay on for about 10 more minutes. Hopefully, Winnie comes on. Guys, links in the chat room. We'll put the link in the chat room. If you want to call in and add to the conversation, you can. If you want to call in and add to the conversation, you can. Link is in the chat room. So I said the leader of the coup is related to the president. Don't get excited yet. We'll see.
Linus, while we're on, you can come up with a way to, however you want to do it. I'm going to send for 3 documentaries for you to give away.
Okay.
So you determine how you want to give that away, but whether it's toward the end of the show, questions, whatever you want to do, even if I'm not on here actively, I'll be listening, but I'm going to send that over for 3 documentaries for you to give away.
Okay. The first 3 people who click on the link and add to the conversation, you'll get a copy of the documentary. Well, that's what we do. Links in the chat room. Click on the link, add to the conversation. You get a copy of the documentary. First 3 people. Seems fair to me.
Would that be 2 because I'm already up here? So I heard the former president of Gabon, he had bought all these luxurious items, kind of similar to the president of Zimbabwe, Mugabe. He said he had all kind of sports cars and, the propaganda coming out about him.
Yeah, that's how they roll. That's how they roll.
Oh, yeah. 55 years? Wow. It's a long time.
Okay, Africa Wahala. You got to connect your devices, Africa Wahala. Here we go.
Yes, sir.
Africa Wahala, brother, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, brother. Yeah, man. Speaking about the topic of conversation, coups happening here and there. I mean, the reason is quite simple. The people are tired of the fake democratic system that we practice. I mean, let me just give you a quick example. You have Ali Bongo. The guy is crippled, bro. This man literally can't walk by himself without using an aid. He's been in power for close to 20 years. His father was in power for over 40 years. They've turned Gabon into a monarchy. At the same time, when the soldiers kicked him out of power, France is crying foul. Oh, we need to return this guy into power. But let's ask the French people a question, or the French government. Would you allow a father and a son to be the presidents of France for 55 years? Will the French people ever let that happen? The answer is no. So the French government would rather have that happen to us African people so that we can remain poverty stricken. And at the same time, Ali Bongo happens to be one of the wealthiest African politicians without inventing anything, without being known to have solved any major world problem. He's not known to be a billionaire, to be a businessman. The only job, the only career that this guy has had in his entire life is he has been a politician and he has been the son of a politician. So clearly, there is something amiss. If a coup was staged in France right now, I bet you the French citizens will come out and fight against the mutiny guys. But in Africa, whenever if a coup is staged, for example, in Niger Republic, in Mali, Burkina Faso, Gabon, The people are celebrating, dancing on the streets. You know, I remember back in 1998 when Sani Abacha died in Abuja. I was in Ilorin. People were dancing on the streets. Old people.
How do you think he died? The rumor was he had a heart attack with a bunch of Filipino strippers or something.
There were so many rumors, bro. So many rumors. We don't even know what happened. Some said he ate apple from Eve and he was poisoned by Indian prostitutes. Some other people said he died of a heart attack. This guy came out recently, Mustafa. Mustafa came out recently and said Sani Abacha passed away from a heart attack. But whatever the case is, the most important thing is I remember vividly people were celebrating. So if people are celebrating the demise of their leader, then something is wrong somewhere, my brother. That's why these coups keep happening. I'm hoping and praying to God that Cameroon is next. Yeah, they have to get Paul Biya. That's my opinion. That guy has to go.
Well, like I said, I mean these coups are usually not telegraphed, but it'll be interesting.
Let me say one more thing, brother. I know a lot of us are extremely excited about soldiers taking over power. I mean, it's good times. I'm happy we're finally seeing the destruction of the clutches that France has on Africa. I'm glad we are witnessing that in 2023. But at the same time, we need to remember these events have happened in the past. We've had multiple military coups in West Africa, Central Africa, whereby the military guys, after years of being in power, they become murderous criminals. They become kidnappers. They become terrorists. And they also become politicians, pretty much. They take off the military uniforms. They put on their agbada. You understand? They wear those, the traditional attire that wealthy African politicians wear. That's what they take off the military uniforms, they put on agbada, and they start ruling us just like the military did. They arrest you if you try to protest. They throw you in jail. Your family members never hear from you anymore. They arrest, kidnap, kill their opposition members. Destruction of democracy. We have no democracy, bro. It's fake. So if France is crying, France and the United States of America, England, Belgium, Germany, if these clowns are crying and complaining, oh, you Africans need to restore the democratic system of government because democracy is from the people, for the people, by the people. If that's what they are crying right now, how about they let the same thing happen in their countries? How about they allow criminals, murderers, thieves, and kidnappers be the ones in control of those countries? But they are never going to let that happen. And I'm pretty sure we all know the dynamics at this point, how things work. The global imperialists collaborate with the African politicians to keep us perpetually impoverished. So we are slowly breaking that chain. Thank you, brother.
You're welcome. Go ahead, Jonathan. Unmute yourself. You got a lot of background noise.
Yes, the background noise still there? Can you hear me?
My bad. No, it's but it sounds kind of like you're in an empty room. There's like an echo. But go ahead.
All right, I'm in an empty room. I'm cleaning up and shit. But these coups thing, for the most part, I think they're bad because usually they're not really planned out well. Like usually for a coup to be successful, people actually check in with their allies and start asking them questions about how they feel about if they remove this leader or something like that. These coups, they're not doing any of that shit. They're just waking up and saying, all right, we're going to get rid of this president. Historically, every time something like this has happened, it always goes south. Like the time, even though the people celebrated, I think Robert Mugabe, was probably like the top recent coup outside of Niger. What he got, taken out, everybody was celebrating. It was like, yeah, it's time for change and blah, blah, blah. But years later, they all suffer and they're doing way worse than they were doing when he was still alive and when they were still under him. So these coups don't really make too much sense. And a lot of times, it's just going to end up turning into some kind of form of civil war. For the most part, depending on the countries, I don't know how big they got split. If they got any kind of like, I can think you can imagine if Nigeria had a coup, Biafra's back alive. Other parts are going to want to be separating all of that simple crap. They're just going to hurt the country in the long term. So I think they're bad. Your documentary is dope. So,
hey man, I appreciate it, Jonathan.
All right.
All right, Abdul, go ahead, Abdul. Abdul, unmute yourself. Abdul, unmute yourself. All right, going once, going twice. Okay, all right. All right, guys, links in the chat room, We'll take a couple more callers. And also, too, if you do not own a copy of the documentary, if you want a copy, please call in, click on that link and call in. Shout out to brother Wisdom Never Sleeps for donating 3 documentaries to 3 people who call in. All right, but links in the chat room, click on the link and you can add to the conversation. Yeah, I don't know where Winnie is. You know, he must be I don't know what's going on. So listen, we'll start closing out. Wisdom Never Sleeps. Go ahead, brother. Take us away. Anything like to add to the before we close out? Okay. All right, he must be tied up. Cash or Zulu. Oh, there he goes. Go ahead.
All right. Yes. So one thing I think Miller said, a lot of those don't work, but these coups this time appears to be against France, not just infighting to take who's going to patrol anything. So there may be a different tone there going forward, hopefully. But it more like getting the France puppets out the way. It seemed like what these most recent coups are. And if that's the case, hopefully they'll take a different tone and turn based on what the people are looking for. That's the hope. But nonetheless, won't say long. But like I said, look, y'all go ahead and support and get the documentary. Watch it. You will thoroughly enjoy it. And we hope in all of our African countries will really get their freedom because they're all still in search for rule right now, all over Africa, as we should be together as well. But I think what we do here is they look to Black Americans. If we stay on the feet of everybody else, we can't expect them to do any greater there than here. Because it'll be the same thing because they're looking for us to how we deal here as well. And if we have no fight there, we can't complain about those that do have some fight left in Africa. And that's all I'm going to say about that. And I bid you good night.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much. Conscious Zulu, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't. To go off what Jonathan said, I don't think the coups are necessarily bad. I think this one could definitely be beneficial if these countries they agree to trade amongst each other and maybe even get rid of some of their imaginary borders that the colonists left them with. I think that's a huge problem. A lot of people don't or really don't mention small tiny Togo. I think there's a possibility of a coup happening there before it happens in any other francophone African countries. Maybe Central African Republic, but I already know what the rebellions that have been going on there for a while. But yeah, I think Togo, and maybe even Benin, they could both have coups, and those are just 2 more dominoes to fall for the francophone African countries, and like they said, maybe there'll be a third world country. But I'll close there. Tell the country of Gabon to keep fighting on. The people in America, the black people in America, we with you. And have a good night, everybody.
Hey, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe. Until next time, family, dynasty, mirror search for Huru. Peace.